Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review. And now I'm going to be reviewing the sequel, which my last review I reviewed the first Air Bud film, and I'm going to review the sequel now, Air Bud 2, Golden Receiver, and was made a year after the first film. First one was '97. This film was released in '98. Um, Kevin Zegers, who played Josh Fram, comes back. Um, the Golden Retriever, um, which the first film is a star, Full House star, the God dog who played Con Buddy was his name. Um, he played Buddy Air Bud in the first film, but in the second film, this film was dedicated to his memory because he died in February of 1998, which was his film before this film was released, which was in the summer of August '98. But this film was dedicated to his memory, which is sad that when it said that he had this cancer that's in his joints, or probably like in his legs, because it said that '97 he had his probably after the first film was made, because it said '97 he had his right hind leg amputated, said due to for synovial cell sarcoma. Like I said, it says it's a type of cancer that's in the joints, So then February 10th, 1998, he died in his sleep from the cancer in San Diego. So it is sad that, So Everybody was the first one he did, but this film was dedicated in his memory, which is sad, because I like dogs, and it's sad when dogs die, it's a sad thing, But at least they did a right thing to dedicate in his memory. So we have another golden retriever. I think I was looking up, and they had like a few other dogs playing Buddy in this film. So yeah, and also it was nice for the first for Buddy. He was nominated for a Kids Choice Award for Buddy. That was a nice thing, But anyway, getting back into the film though, he's another golden retriever is played as Buddy, in the sequel though. And this is the special edition because the only special feature is when the All Sports channel play-by-play, which is right here, which the Buddy's kids, who they comment on the plays that their father made in the film, So that's the only why this is a special edition because of this, And also this was the last. This is the last film that an Air Bud film was released in theaters. It was to get a theoretical release. It made $10 million. And compared to the first film, budget of $3 million, it made $23 million. This film, I don't know what its budget is, but the film made $10 million. When it was released. So, and since then, the other sequels have been direct to videos, So, so getting into the story, like I said, opens up, with the Kevin Zegers once again playing as Josh Fram. He's playing basketball with Buddy, and like one night, they when Josh and his mother and his little sister, they go to a basketball game, not a high school basketball game, like a sort of like a college basketball, a professional college basketball team, and Buddy sneaks in the back of the car, and as they're playing, as the game is going on, Buddy runs onto the court field and begins shooting hoops, and everyone's laughing and everyone's cheering as well, and they get their picture taken. Buddy gets his picture taken with the team, and well, when Buddy goes to the vet, Josh and his friend Tom, who is played by the same actor from the first film who plays Tom Stewart from the first film, same actor, Sean Solberg. he comes back as Josh's friend Tom. So they go to the vets because Buddy doesn't like the vet, and they meet a new veteran in town by Patrick Sullivan, played by Gregory Harrison, and he said he's a new animal veteran, and meanwhile Josh's mom has some trouble dates, has trouble dating, There was like one or two failed, but then one day when well, she's walking Buddy and she's on rollerblades, they see Dr. Sullivan, and asks she talks to Buddy, will I ever fall in love again? And soon Buddy goes running off with her holding the leash. She's on rollerblades, and she's telling her to stop, And as soon as he stops, she goes launching right into Dr. Sullivan's arms, And then that's when they start dating, And then Josh starts feeling uncomfortable, because he once again looks back at the picture of his father, the article of his father who died in the plane crash, And he's been feeling uncomfortable, particularly about him dating his mom dating Dr. Sullivan, And Dr. Sullivan he gives Josh a football as well, And that's when Buddy starts liking football, because this is the film where he plays football. And but while that's happened, sorry. While this is going on, that two Russian, a woman and a man, two Russian people, they're stealing other animals to take back to Russia to make their own circus, Like the guy Popov and the other woman Natalia, which of course with the woman who plays Nora Dunn, Natalia, guys look up. She's been on a lot of things on Saturday Night Live, With the switch, the accent, Russian accent for me, was just I did not buy, or with a he talking like this, I just didn't buy with I didn't buy the Russian accent that she had. It seems so really fake, But and probably the same thing as the other guy as well, But beside that though, they want to capture these animals to create their own circus back in Russia. So they're kidnapping they get the guy kidnapped this monkey who's on a skateboard, But Natalia says she wants a main attraction. And of course they see what Buddy did on the basketball court on TV, and then they want to take him, And also for me, like the bad guy scheme in this film, I did not care for though. But even the two bad guys, Michael Jeter in the first film, as Norm Snidely was to me was a better villain, And that's always think he's the best villain in the Air Bud film series, Because I like Michael Jeter, I like him as an actor, and I liked him when he was the villain in the first film, He's still a better villain than these two idiotic, Russian couple, Because they're just even dumber than Norm, Norm Snively. But this is my opinion, I guess, But yeah. Besides the bad guys were not that really good. I still like the film anyway. It doesn't stop me from liking the film, But let's see what Josh and Tom they joined the football team because Tom he said he wanted to join the football team because he says chicks dig football players, And they asked by the coach finale played by Robert Costanzo, which Robert Costanzo he was in that review that I did of Man's Best Friend with the Killer Dog. He was one of the detectives, and as I said before, he was also in Die Hard 2 as Lorenzo's other cop brother, who towed Bruce Willis's car. Merry Christmas. He plays as the coach in this of the Timberwolves. Because all the teams all the teams in the sports teams in all the film series, they're called the Timberwolves. So they try out for the team, you know, and they're training hard. But the team has the Timberwolves football team has a reputation of they haven't won a season in the last 10 years, you know, and even the principal of the school had decided to either quit the football program or they let the coach go. And Josh overhears this. He sees the principal and the coach talking, you know, and during that conversation, you know. But anyway, they still continue training, and then when during what it was when Josh is feeling still down about his mom dating the veterinarian, you know, and when he throws the ball, you know, Buddy catches it. That's when they're throwing the same thing like the first film, you know, playing basketball, him shooting the hoops, and it's just him catching the football, you know. So now during the first real game, you know, when the Timberwolves they're doing badly, you know, but well, first before our buddies at the house though went to the bad guys. Of course they're driving an ice cream truck, you know, because of course they're driving this ice cream truck and they're hiding at this fish warehouse because the guy at Popoff said that this is what they can afford in their budgets, you know. So they got this ice cream truck, you know. When they get to Josh's house, you know, and they're getting the nest, you know, preparing to capture Buddy, you know. They got stopped by two kids who wants ice cream, you know, and Buddy jumps on top of their car and he runs away, you know, and they drive chasing him, you know. There's also kids running behind them wanting ice cream, you know. But the Buddy loses them eventually, and he gets to the football field and he's watching, you know, like a scene where he goes and takes a kid's hot dog, you know. I thought it was like a funny scene, you know. And then it's also the same thing like the first film, you know, where when he first goes into the basketball court, you know, starts playing with a football and all the players who are trying to catch him, you know. Same thing here, you know. When Josh when he throws the football, Buddy catches it and starts running towards the end of the field. But it didn't matter because the team lost anyway, you know. But and the coach, he looks very pleased about Buddy, you know, and this is when he gave Josh the idea to make him another sports uniform like the first film with the jersey and the shoes, you know. He gives him another football jersey and a helmet, you know. At first the team laughs at it, but the coach accepts it and see how it does, and they're training, you know, catches the football, and I also like the scene where they're doing push-ups, and Buddy, you know, he's down the ground and gets back up, you know, and goes back down. He's doing push-ups, you know. I thought that was like kind of a funny scene as well, you know. And he even like the scene here, he's pushing like one of those dummies football players help push back, you know. And when it comes to the next real game, you know, the second game I think, like the opponent's teams, they all start laughing at Buddy, you know. But when he starts doing as soon as he catches the football, like all the football players, they'll just drop their helmets all at the same time, you know. And they're doing well toward the end of the game, you know. He's making touchdowns, you know, and all of the other team, the opposing team, they all think they can stop Buddy by dogpiling on him, you know. All the players dogpiling him, but they stopped him, but as soon as the camera moves up, he's all the way at the end of the end zone on his back, you know. And of course, they used the same music themes from the first film as well, which I thought was a good thing as well, you know. So, and of course shows like the first film that shows the newspaper showing they keep on winning after game. But then Josh, then he gets really upset that when Dr. Sullivan he proposes to his mom, you know, and he gets upset over that, and then during that night he runs away. You know, he wants to run away from home. Tells Buddy to stay, and then he gets captured by the two Russian people, you know, the Russian couple, I would say, you know, which they weren't, but I'm just saying though. he gets captured, taken back to their headquarters, I guess, you know. And but Josh is is sitting at the train station. The coach um, finds him there as well, saying that he used to, when he was at his age, he used to run away a few times, you know. And he tells him he knows about the about Josh. He knows Josh's problem, you know, saying just because, you know, he's married, his new mom, doesn't mean you have to stop loving your previous father, you know. So and knows the coach is right, so he goes and returns. Returns home, but he knows that um but he's missing it also because Patrick, you know, decides to go leave out because he had offered another job in San Diego, you know. So he decides to go to leave, and back at the warehouse, you know. Um, but he's in a cage with all the others, you know. But he eventually gets out of the cages. All the animals get loose, you know. Um, and the two clumsy Russian couple, you know, like a skunk sprays the woman Natalia, and the guy pop off. You know, he sits on a porcupine, gets the needles in his rear. You know. But then and then the monkey, you know, I think either the monkey or Arrow hits a button and lets them they get fish guts poured all over them. Of course, they're like the two idiots. So they stand right in front of they're looking, standing right in front of the thing where the fish guts gets pours out. You know, instead of take a step to the side, they just stand there like this, blank face. You know, and they get covered in fish guts. And they chase him on the dock in with the ice cream truck. You know, and Buddy's is standing there, even though he can move to the side though, but Patrick picks him up and runs to the side while their ice cream trucks the brakes won't work and they hit something and they both go flying into the fish net, you know, and the cops show up, you know, saying we're Russian citizens, you know, we want to be taken to the Russian embassy, which of course tells us it's embassy, you know, and of course also that's also the day when the team goes to the finals, you know. And of course, you know, the whole thing, you know, where the team is losing, you know, because Buddy's not there, you know. But Patrick takes Buddy back to the game, and then it's when they start catching up, you know. They're like the score was like 30, what was it, 30, 32, 35, you know. It was something 35. It was 31 32, whatever, you know. And during the close end of the game, you know, when Buddy's going long for the football, one of the the other team players tackle him, you know, and and think he's severely injured, you know, which does look like he was injured because when he takes to the sideline, he's just like sitting there, you know, completely all right, you know. And also when during the whole time during that football game, you know, the other two, the commentators commenting on the game. You have two up in the the box where the commentary is. You know, you have Tim Conway and two good comedians. You know, Tim Conway and Dick Martin. You know, they're commenting on the game. You know, and everything like that. Oh, those and the goods which said special appearance. You know, by Tim Conway and Dick Martin as Dan Chris show up. You know, and even though I didn't know Dick Martin that much though, but I always enjoyed Tim Conway. You know, him with his collaboration with Don Knotts, you know, and of course him voicing Barnacle Boy and SpongeBob, you know, next to Ernest Borgnine as Mermaid Man, you know. It was nice to see Tim Conway, you know. And so Buddy's out of the game, then Josh gets tackled and his friend Tom gets tackled and he says, "Oh, my nose spreader, you know, I can't do it without my nose spreader." I'm like, and he said, "Forget." And I'm like, "Yeah, forget the nose spreader. You know, you can still do it, you know." So it's down to the fourth down, the last seconds, you know, the last play, you know, Tom goes long, Josh throws the long ball, then Tom catches it, catches it, slides into the end zone, you know, and that's game, you know. So And after the game ends, Josh decides that he wants Patrick to stay, and so he decides to stay as well, become another part of the family, and then it cuts to they go to a football game, which is the Seattle Seahawks versus the 49ers, and Buddy once again sneaks onto the football field. I'm like, even though I thought it's funny though, but don't they ever put a leash on him, put him on a leash so he doesn't keep sneaking onto the field, In the first film, like that can be less, like, because he followed them all the way from the house to the school, but in the second time he stuck to the back seat and then on to the basketball court, and then this time he sneaks into the football field. Like, put a leash on him, But that's part of the comedy, He goes to the football field and he catches the football, freeze frames as the film ends, So yeah, I do enjoy the sequel as well, the Cresco dedicated in memory of Buddy, It's nice to see it was dedicated in his memory, It was nice to see a couple of the returning cast members from the first film, like Kevin Zegers, Josh Fram, or his friend Tom from the first film is back. I think that's the only two human characters that comes back, and that's it, Because the mom was played by a different actress, Cynthia Stevenson, which appears in this film, but not in the third film, World Cup, but then appears again in the fourth film where Buddy plays baseball, and also including the fifth film where Spike's back. So didn't appear in the third film, but appeared in the other two sequels. So and because of the dog who plays Buddy, the Golden Retriever did really good. I still liked. Dog was well trained to play. I still enjoy the music. Using the music from the first film as during the training and during the games. It was nice to put the music from the first film into this still. This is still the cast did good. Well, I'm not a fan of the two bad guys, the two Russian bad guys. The woman and the guy. I was not a fan of them. I think was one of my least favorite bad guys in the series. And their scheme to capture animals for a Russian circus, that was kind of. I mean, it's kind of lame though. But like I said, Michael Jeter from the first film as Norm Snively still was a better villain. Because he was the original owner of Buddy. But and it was also nice to see guest appearances from Tim Conway and Dick Martin, especially Tim Conway. This is on for 90 minutes. Goes like the first one goes at a decent pace, I did see the special features where Buddy's kids are commenting though. Well, like I said, I'm just not a fan of the Buddy's spin-off series, I was never interested though. I was only interested in the five films, But okay, I guess it was a decent feature, featurette. And this film got a much more lower ratings than the first film, more negative ratings. It has the first film has a 5.0 on IMDb. This one has a 4.4. And on Rotten Tomatoes has a 21% compared to the first film that had like a 43 or 45%, I would say it could be at least a bit higher, not as high as the first film, but like a little bit below the first film, but which of course I can understand though, but I could still give it a little more higher ratings though, because I thought it was a really good, decent sequel, So yeah, the first film will always be the best in the series, And I don't own the other Air Bud sequels, on DVD though. But when I do eventually get them, when I do eventually get them, I will review them. Because like I said, if I would put it in order, the first film was always the best. I I believe I would put this one second. Then number 4, the third. Then I probably would put number 5. Number 5, the second best, and then the third one, World Cup, the least, you know. But overall, I still like all Air Bud films. You know, this is like in put them in order doesn't mean I don't like the films any better though. But I still like all of them. This is in the order that I thought I like them the best. You know, and the first one was always going to be the best. You know. So yeah. So that's my review for Air Bud Golden Receiver, because that's the tagline that the coach said. You know, that's no golden retriever, that's a golden receiver. You know. And even Robert Costnazo did fine as well, you know. Just thinking of anything else, you know. I'm pausing to think of anything else I want to say before I end this. No, I guess that's pretty much it, you know. So yeah, it's just it's like I said, when I get the other films on DVD, I will review those. But until then, the series is going to have to stop. The series it's going to have to be at a halt for now, you know. So that's my review for Air Bud Golden Receiver. The last film that was theoretically released, $10 million, I would say is not that bad. But thanks for watching. Take care, and like I said, first one was always the best, and this was a very decent sequel as well. So I still like it, even despite the only thing that that I was not a fan of was the bad guys. That's the only one problem though, but still like the movie overall. So thanks for watching. Take care and stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.